Good morning, students. Welcome to PNMRC e-learning classes. Students, this is the fourth part of chapter number 10, Reaching the Age of Adolescence. Students, today we will start our video with the topic sex chromosomes. Now, what are sex chromosomes? Chromosomes are present inside the nucleus of every cell of a human body that I have told you in my previous video. All the human beings have 23 pairs of chromosomes in the nuclei of their normal body cells. How many pairs? 23 pairs. Out of these 23 pairs of chromosomes, one pair of chromosomes are called sex chromosomes. The two chromosomes that determine the sex of an offspring or baby are called sex chromosomes. The two sex chromosomes are named as X chromosome and Y chromosome. The gamete means the sex cells, means sperms and egg cell, are not normal body cells. They are special cells called reproductive cells. Now these gametes contain only 23 single chromosomes, not a pair of chromosomes but 23 single chromosomes, and hence they have only one of the two sex chromosomes, X or Y, that exist in the normal body cells. In females, means women, all the gametes or all the X cells contain X chromosomes. Female have no Y chromosomes in their gametes. On the other hand, in males, means in men, half of the gametes or sperms have X chromosomes and half of the gametes or sperms have Y chromosomes. The baby developed from XX combination of sex chromosomes in zygote is a girl, and the baby developed from XY combination of sex chromosomes in zygote will be a boy. Now students, we will discuss how is the sex of a baby determined. It means when a baby is born, he or she will be a boy or a girl. When a woman gives birth to a baby, it can be a boy, it means it can be a male, or a girl, means female. The sex of a baby to be born is decided at the moment the egg cell of woman gets fertilized by the sperm of man and pregnancy occurs. Means when the fertilization of ovum and sperm takes place, at that time only the sex of the baby is determined. This is because the instructions for determining the sex of baby, whether it will be a boy or girl, are present in the sex chromosomes, which are in the nucleus of the fertilized egg called zygote. The sex of baby is determined by the type of sex chromosomes present in the fertilized egg. Fertilized egg is also called as zygote, from which the baby develops. Students, now we will discuss it more clearly. There are two types of sex chromosomes, X chromosomes and Y chromosomes. A female has only X chromosomes in all her gametes called eggs. So students, keep in mind that female has only X chromosomes in all her gametes. A male has X chromosomes as well as Y chromosomes in male gametes called sperms. Actually, half the male gametes or sperms have X chromosomes and the other half of male gametes or sperms have Y chromosomes. Now, if a sperm carrying X chromosomes fertilize an egg which carries X chromosome, because you know that X cell carries only X chromosome. So sperm having X chromosomes fertilized with the X cell carrying X chromosome, then the zygote form will be XX combination of sex chromosomes, due to which the child born will be a girl. It means XX is equal to girl. Now, if a sperm carrying Y chromosomes fertilizes an egg cell which carries X chromosome, because X cell carry only X chromosomes, and when the sperm carrying Y chromosomes fertilizes with the egg cell carrying X chromosome, then the zygote form will be XY combination of chromosomes, due to which the child born will be a boy. This means XY is equal to boy. Now our next discussion is myths and taboos regarding reproduction. A widely held but false belief is known as myth, and something prohibited by social customs is known as taboos. We will now discuss some myths and taboos related to the process of reproduction. An important myth in the minds of many people is that mother is responsible for the sex of her child. That means male or female. This is absolutely wrong. The scientific fact tells us that it is the father who is responsible for the sex of the child born. And another taboos in the minds of many people is that a girl should not allowed to work in the kitchen during the days of menstruation. This taboo is absolutely wrong. Menstruation is a natural process in girls, and since we know the scientific facts regarding the process of reproduction in humans, it is our duty to help in eradicating such myths and taboos from our society. Remember, God has made woman to create human life. So women should be held in high esteem in our society. Why look down upon woman who gives birth to men? Our mother is a woman, our sister is a woman, and a man's wife is also a woman. Then why not have a woman as our daughter? It is our duty of our government as well as in our of our society to save, protect and educate the girl child who will become the woman of tomorrow. Now our topic is adolescent pregnancy. That means the formal union of a man and a woman by which they become husband and wife is called marriage. In our country, the legal age for marriage is 18 years for girls and 21 years for boys. One of the functions of married life in our society is to have a baby. With the birth of baby, a girl becomes a mother. The legal age for the marriage of girls has been fixed at 18 years because early motherhood causes a lot of problems for the young woman as well as for the baby. Some of the problems brought about by early marriage in girls leading to early motherhood are: first one is the girls younger than 18 years of age are not prepared physically and mentally for motherhood. Second problem is early marriage and motherhood cause health problems in the mother and the child. Third problem that arise due to early marriage is early marriage and motherhood cause agony to the girl as she is not prepared to fulfill the responsibilities of motherhood involved in bringing up the baby. Fourth problem that arises due to early marriages: early marriage and motherhood reduces the chances of higher education for girls. Fifth problem that arises due to early marriage is early marriage and motherhood reduces the employment opportunities for the young girls. Unfortunately, in some of the areas of our country, there is a tradition of child marriages. This tradition is harmful for the growth and development of not only the girls but also for boys. Though our government is making great efforts to stop child marriage, but these efforts can succeed fully only when the people are made to cooperate. So, as a responsible citizen, all of us should do our best to stop child marriages in our country. So, students, that's all for today's video. We will meet tomorrow with the remaining parts of this chapter. So, up till then, goodbye and thank you.